Hello, everybody, and welcome to NuWhoZone. We are here for the time of the Doctor. Yes, Matt Smith's last ever episode. Well, could be his last ever episode, but if rumors are to be believed, Matt Smith could return for the so-called 60th anniversary. I just call it a special now because I do honestly believe we'll get something this year at the end of the year. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. But anyway, yeah, we're here for Time with the Doctor. Obviously, Matt Smith's last ever episode of Doctor Who. And what I'll do is I haven't sent out the emails yet, so I'm going to do that right now. I've just been sharing the link everywhere, so I kind of got a bit distracted, and I didn't realize I'd set it for 20 past. I thought I'd set it for 8:30. I just lost all track of bleeding reality. So it won't take me long to get the panel up and running for this one. Oh, it's just one of those days, draining. We haven't done this in a while anyway. Should be a bit of fun. I hope. Right, so yeah. So yeah, the fucking sun, get away. It disappeared behind the clouds. As soon as I start streaming, it's back right full blown into me face again. It's bleeding. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the sun. I'm not complaining that the sun, I'm just complaining it's in me fucking eyes. That's all. We all like a bit of sun, don't we? Yeah, so I've sent the usual suspects emails. You know who you are. There I already hear one person's already come through. And we might as well send, even though it's actually, yeah, what am I saying? PD would be coming on anyway, so send him his email if he's around. I feel like I'm missing someone. Anyway, I've sent the emails out to Charlotte, which she's in the studio already. Real Super Doctor, Problem Being, and PD Rich. But I better text the other two lads and let them know, because it's been a while since we done Doctor Who, and I don't know if they were in the chat when I actually said we were doing this. So I'll just send them a quick message on Messenger there, just to let them know. We see the Ledge is in the chat. Actually, we don't have many people in the chat this evening. Must be the good weather. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Right, that's one message sent. And let's send one to Lee. Right. Let's hope we get a response. We'll give them a few minutes. Jesus Christ, that sun is just too much. It's right in me face. And I wouldn't even mind. I moved the sofa up so this wouldn't bleed and happen. Fucking hell, man. There, I literally have to lift the bleeding cushion up. But you know what? I'm going to have to duck down. You know the way they used to do when you were a kid, when you didn't want to see? You duck down behind all the cushions. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm ducking down behind all the cushions. People were to see me in the window, if they were looking up, because nosy bastards, they'd say, "Oh, look at that Irish man. He's a motherfucker. What's he doing?" Yeah, I'm building a little fort, right? You know, I'm entitled to. I might be a grown man, but if I want to build a fort, I'll build a fort. Anyway, getting on to this story. I don't know. For me, I think Matt Smith went out with a bit of a whimper. So I didn't really, as I said, his stories, for me, weren't great. At the end, near the end, it's like as if I don't know, Moffat rushed them or something. I might have a different opinion, but I wasn't a fan of any of these specials, to be quite honest with you. Even the 50th, it's grown on me over the years, but I still have major problems with that anniversary. But I'm willing to let it go because it's got David Tennant and Matt Smith now. I mean, you can't ask for anything better, can you? It'd be stupid if RTD didn't do the same. See, I mean, the reason why I think Matt Smith is going to turn up is for the simple fact is he turned up for the 50th. He was there for the 50th, and David Tennant turned up for his. Yeah? And I just believe that it'll happen again. I reckon that David Tennant and they just bring Matt Smith back in. Because, why wouldn't you? Look at the two of them working together. Look at that. That one thing about that story I will say is look at the chemistry between David and Matt and their doctors. I mean, the banter was just brilliant. And even in the serious moments, when Tennant's doctor giving out to Matt's doctor about forgetting, that was a fascinating moment. Because you're seeing the doctor at different parts of his life, And it would have been better if Christopher Eccleston had been there. Then you would have seen the three comparisons, and it would have been absolutely brilliant. But of course, he just has to fucking piss him on all the time. Look, there was a time where I said, it'd be the biggest surprise if they got him back. To be quite honest with you, don't want him back. Don't want him back. Even his comments about multi-doctor stories just made me believe, well, he's all for himself. He just wants to come back himself. He doesn't, he reminds me of Tom Baker until when Tom Baker then copped on and realized, okay, yeah, he may have been the best doctor and fans consider him the best doctor, but there are other blokes that have played the doctor. He had that kind of arrogance about him. And I think Eccleston has that arrogance. I don't think he wants to work with other doctors, and I don't think he'd want the spotlight taken away from him. That's how he comes across to me. So no, I don't. Keep him well away. Keep him well away. Look, if you bring back Smith and you manage to convince Capaldi to come back, I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough. Forget about Christopher Eccleston. I don't really care anymore. If he wants to continue to moan, he's a grown-ass man and he's still bleeding moan, and we get it. You had issues back in the day, but it's over with now. Move on. Because, the more you keep bringing it up now, people felt sorry for you before. But now you're coming across as a whiny little bitch. And to be quite honest with you, I don't like whiny little bitches. So, cop on, grow up. How old are you? 50-odd years of age and you're still acting like a bleeding lunatic. Right? Sorry that you were treated badly back in the day. Right? Sorry your marriage didn't work out at the time and all that shit was happening. But that's not our fault as fans. At the end of the day, you took an iconic role. You became iconic because of that role. The least you could do is bite your upper lip or your bottom lip. And if you're asked to go back without any moaning. Don't be giving all this crap about, the multi-doctor stories. You obviously don't understand what an anniversary is supposed to be. So if you're not going to shut up, then just don't fucking shut up. I'm just sick of him. He comes out with random comments all the time. He came out with some a couple of weeks ago that I never actually made a comment on. I did on Twitter, but he's just getting ridiculous now. He is. He just needs to shut up. We get it. We know you were treated badly. You've told the story. He hasn't shut up since he started talking about it. Do you remember there was a time where he was asked stuff and he said, no, I'm not going to open my mouth. It's too difficult to talk about. Going to keep it to myself. And I thought to myself at the time, well, even though I'm a bit nosy and I'd like to know what's going on, do you know why he has the right attitude about it? Keep it to your fucking self. Do you know what I mean? No, you don't need to broadcast everything to the world. Yeah? But ever since he has, and he was convinced to go to these conventions, he hasn't stopped talking. I was slayed. I was done wrong. No, I wasn't at fault. He's like all these new fans today. No wonder he's pandering to the little twats today. He is one. He is one. We had a doctor that was one. Because look at him now. He's a Karen. He's a Karen. He moans about everything. PD, I sent you a link anyway, an email. We're doing the time of what's the time of the doctor? I haven't got it. Gee, the last one. I don't know what the story is with Lee. But what I'll do is we've got a couple of guests now. So without further ado, we'll bring them on, and if Lee pops in, he pops in. I know Lee is busy. He's doing whatever he's doing, videos and stuff like that, editing and stuff. So if he pops in, he pops in. We did see him yesterday, didn't we, when we were talking? Didn't he pop into the chat for a few minutes? I'm pretty sure he did. I was the other day. See, I've lost all track of time now, so I don't remember. Anyway, let's do this anyway. Without further ado, let's bring on our guests who are joining us for this finale. So it's the one and only. We've got royalty on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. So bow down, do the honors. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Eccleston can feck off now. It's barred now. Feck off. It's barred now. Exact. That's what it is, though. Like I'm not belittling that he said happened to him, because what he has come out and said, and the fact that they blacklisted him was wrong, right? We all get that. But now he's come back into the pub, and he chose to do it, by the way. Nobody forced him to come back and start talking. He was convinced to come back. Listen, there's loads of money to be made at the conventions. You don't need to be working as much. You know, you got your like in an interview, he says, you know, I'm a dinosaur now. Actors like me are prehistoric, and start giving all of this rubbish, right? And then start talking about, well, I'm not getting as many jobs as I want. So basically, this article's fishing for a job. That's what you're doing. So that's what he's doing.
But in the same breath, it's good that he's not getting any jobs, and it should be like that.
Well, if he has that attitude, I'm pretty sure he shouldn't be working. I mean, look, I've always had a problem with him coming back into this fandom. I told you that, especially when he started going to conventions. They have the stream back in the day speaking about it, that he's only coming back for one thing and one thing only, right? And it's the only reason why he came back, the big finish as well. He's no work, right? He's not getting now it all makes sense. This is why he's doing big finish. This is why he's at the conventions, because he's not getting the work like he used to get the work. So now he needs to take whatever is given, and this is the thing. This is why I'm saying, people saying, oh, there's never a possibility of him coming back for the special. Listen, he's no work right now. I'm pretty sure if RTD was willing to bury the fucking hatchet and rang him up and said, listen, Chris, you know about this special that I'm writing? Well, it's every doctor is going to get their own story. I'd like to bring you back for your story. Would you like to come back? He's not going to turn it down this time. Fuck all of this. Doctor Who was very emotional, not coming back. He'll be back. He's doing big finish right now. He's fit right back in, playing the doctor. Trust me, if he was offered a certain amount of money to be on screen, he would. But I don't want him now. I don't want him. Do you know what? Paul McGann should take his spot. Who should have took his spot in the first fucking place anyway, in my opinion. Right? Just give the fans what they want. Paul McGann, we've been saying it for years. Moffat delivered, right, with the Night of the Doctor. Wasn't it the night? Yeah, the Night of the Doctor. Which was okay. It wasn't enough, but it gave us the indication that he's still a fucking brilliant doctor, right? So do it, right? I have to get the main show done. 6-part miniseries, Paul McGann, the War Doctor, or whatever you want to bleed and call him, and bang, and give us a show. And put it on late night, BBC fucking 1, right? Not BBC 2, late night, BBC 1, and make them more adult themed. Lots of Daleks, lots of killing. We made Davros maybe making appearances and actually show blood and guts and all of that crap, and you'll be on to a winner. Anyway, our next guest is a doctor, apparently. He's the real super doctor.
Hey, Noel, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice to see you, nice to see you.
It's been a while.
It has.
has.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. It has. It has. But I have to be honest. I have enjoyed doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, I said, look, we've only got one episode of Matt Smith to do, so might as well do it. And you know, I'm actually looking forward to this now. I wasn't too sure because I was kind of getting used to not doing the watch-alongs for a while. But actually, now that we're doing it now, I'm actually pretty excited about it. We'll see how bad I'm going to get. I forget. I don't even remember. So don't even tell me because I can't even remember what this story's about. I actually can't remember. So this is a good thing. So it's like me watching it all over again for the first time. Anyway,
It's about this woman called Tasha Lem, and she's trying to seduce the doctor.
right, okay, it's not. But anyway, our next guest is the one and only Mr. PD Rich.
Hey, sorry I sound a bit like Kathleen Kennedy, but I've had COVID for 14 days.
Oh, you okay now?
Oh.
Yeah, just getting over it. Just starting to get over it now. It's like, it's been awful. Oh. Yeah. How is everyone?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
Oh.
I might be interesting near the end because it's Matt's going episode.
Do you know there's 2 regenerations I wanted to happen? One was Christopher Eccleston's, and one is Jodie Whittaker's.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to sit here and turn this into the Christopher Eccleston bash stream.
Yeah.
But that man, right? I'm serious,
He does it
right?
to himself. He does it
right?
to himself.
There comes a point, right? Even I've copped on, right? It took a long time, by the way, but I got there eventually. But there comes a time where you just have to grow up and just stop the nonsense, right? Listen, I could spend these next few months, and especially since the last episode, when we knew Jodie was leaving, I should say, right? I could have spent those last few months ridiculing these fans, going after them, getting me revenge, right? Of all the shit that they've done.
Yeah.
Have I done that?
No.
What I've decided to do is I've just decided to walk away because you know what? Since I've done it, and I'm gonna just say it to everybody out there as well. And I know it's hard at the time, but trust me, the sooner you do this, the better, right? Ignore them.
Yeah, they're not worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Block them on any social media. If you have to block them on your channel coming into your chat, do that. Do whatever it is necessary to protect yourself and to protect the people that subscribe and follow to you. And since I've done that, right, I'm not getting no shit on Twitter. Even Mr. TARDIS tried to start something up and I responded back on the other account and he took the tweet down because I'm like, why are you rehashing old arguments for? You know, I think it's kind of petty. And if you're going to call me out for shit that I done, well, then you better call out the other side as well, especially people who follow you because they have been doing the exact same thing that you're accusing me of. So the tweet was taken down. But this is the thing. There comes a time where you just have to move on. And this is why, as I said, if RTD doesn't deliver, I'll walk away rather than just hate watch every week, right? I gave Jodie Whittaker a chance, couldn't enjoy it. And let's be honest, we all kind of then grew to hate it. So we were hate watching, whether we like to admit it or not. That's exactly what we did. So I'm not doing it again. If other channels choose to do that, let them. We're already seeing that they're doing that. But I'm not choosing to do that. So far, every decision that RTD has made, I haven't got a problem with. Everything that I've seen for this special, I certainly don't have a problem with.
Nor do I.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think people just need to sit back and relax for a while and just wait and see what he does with Series 14. But for now, that anniversary special is looking very tasty, whatever is going on. We're seeing massive explosions. We're seeing aliens. Is the Celestial Toy Maker back? Is Beep the Meat going to turn up? All of this is happening. And then we see a photograph of someone who's supposed to look like Matt Smith's doctor. And now everybody's gone into fever pitch. I'm telling you now, listen for a minute, right? I did think this show was dead, like a lot of people. Right?
Yeah.
But looking at everything that's happened, and especially these last couple of days, Doctor Who is back, baby. Doctor
Yeah.
Who is back. At least anyway, with the public, it's generating some good vibes. And it's been a long time coming. Let's be honest, it's not just been the Whittaker era that the good vibes were not there. At the end of the Moffat era, the good vibes were starting to go as well. So this has been about 7 years in the waiting. And the vibe, to see the way Doctor Who is trending now, I'm just blown away. Listen, I did think this show was dead and buried, but it ain't. It ain't. This is why this show has lasted for as long as it actually has. Doctor Who looked dead and buried. And in reality, if this was any other show with a different name, right, it'd be gone. It wouldn't survive. It wouldn't even come back. Remember, this show's come back once before. Shows don't do that. It's very hard, right? It's not. I'm not saying it's never happened before. Of course, it's happened before, but they've never had the success that Doctor Who had. Never. It never happened. You never strike lightning twice. You with a bottle twice, and that's exactly what they did in the 60s when they brought it out, and when they brought it back out in 2005. So, look, I've just got a good feeling about everything, right? Even the stuff that I'm being told and the rumors that are flying out there, and even the rumors now are starting to settle a bit, and you're actually getting the legit sources coming through now, which is good to see. So all the shit is being siphoned away now, and people are I think people are kind of copping on now which sounds legit and which doesn't anymore, which is a good thing, because I think that's one of the bad things during this era is all of these sites were infiltrated by the other side because they wanted to dismiss every rumor that she was leaving. So they start making up their own rumors, and that's what happened. But you're seeing it lately now. All of these sites are starting to come out, and I have to admit, even myself, some of them have got a fucking spot on. And I've got loads of stuff, by the way. I haven't been able to get it done because my stomach, as I said the other day, I haven't been well. That's why I did the pre-record. But I have a load of screenshots of rumors, right? And some of these are just, wow. That's all I'm going to say. Some of them talk about the upcoming centenary special, what's going to happen in that. And some of them talk about what's going to happen in the 60th anniversary. Oh, well, they're calling it the 60th. I'm not calling it the 60th. Even have you noticed in my videos now, I've dropped the 60th. And I've just called it special. Because I'm telling you now, right? Without a shadow of a doubt, this starts this year, Christmas Day. Or I wouldn't like to see it, but if anybody could do New Year's Day right, it would be him. But I know he would be fighting more for Christmas Day. I know he'd fight for Christmas Day because he fought for it the last time. Now, whether he'll get it or not, that's the difference. Because once you lose the Christmas spot, we have to make this clear. Once you give up that Christmas spot like Chibs did, this is why Moffat came back to do Twice Upon a Time. Because that was shown Christmas Day. Because they wanted to save the Christmas spot, give Chibnall a bit of breathing room, get his season out, and then prepare for his Christmas special. But then he came out and said that he wasn't doing Christmas specials. So it's very hard to get that spot back after giving it up. But I know RTD, and he'll fight tooth and nail for that Christmas spot again. But I honestly, seriously, I don't bet. You know that I don't gamble. But I'll actually put a bet on this, that this is going to kick off Christmas Day this year. Because think about it. There's something that's never set well with me about this whole situation. The filming.
Yeah.
They're filming way too early for next year. This filming should actually be, in reality, if this is for next year, should be taking place at the end of November, December, coming into the new year.
Like they're definitely autumn, you would guess. Would be the usual slot.
Yeah.
Not at the start.
It always
of summer.
starts January, February for a new season, doesn't it?
Exactly. So I don't. March normally is when he drops it, but that's what I'm saying. This has never made sense to me,
Yeah.
the announcements coming as early as they have. Remember, even RTD a few weeks back said that there wouldn't be any more announcements. All of a sudden, there's more announcements. I'm telling you now, he cannot hide. He can't. It's getting too big now that he's able to control so much. But now it's starting to. People are starting to make their own thing, and he's seen all of this happening. Look, it's only a matter of time before he comes out. Now, Marky did say something interesting on the last pre-record that I did, and he says, "Look out for an announcement next week." Going by the trend of RTD, as I said, when he does an announcement, he normally drop in 3. There's one more to come. So he's got something else to announce. And that body double that looks like Matt Smith, but I think has David Tennant's hair, though. I have to be honest, it looks like David Tennant's hair to me.
Yeah.
But if it is Matt Smith's stunt double there before they've actually brought Matt Smith in, I reckon that'll be the next announcement that will be made.
God, I would be such a mess. I would just be an absolute
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures on Twitter? Matt has got his hair cut like he
Yes.
did have, and
Yeah.
Look, he's coming. Look, it's probably the work. Look, the David Tennant one, and we've been talking about this. How long have we been talking about on this channel? Right? I even said it's the worst kept secret.
Yeah.
Right? Even when legit places were talking, and I was going, and I was writing into them being the cocky little, because I was like, yeah, you're a few months behind the story. Like, I broke this months ago. Like, what you like? You know, I was like that with them because I was genuinely like, you are the media.
Yeah.
Like, come on, do your fucking job. That's what journalism used to do. You know, he's a nosy little.
It's opinions now, not
You
journalism.
know, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not journalism anymore. But anyway, I was like, it's the worst kept secret. Even when other people on the other side of the argument start then talking about it, I was like, these are a few months behind this. It's the worst kept secret in the industry. Everybody knows he's coming back. And then look what happens. Look, everybody is and this is from every side of the fandom, has already said Matt Smith is coming back. If Matt Smith doesn't come back, it'll be a shock to me, right? It'd even be a shock to me. And I know they haven't actually dismissed Capaldi coming back, but they have mentioned his name. But that could be all a ploy, right? I'd be even shocked if he doesn't turn up. Listen, this is the 60th anniversary. This might quite possibly be the last time we remember Doctor Who as we remember it. Before he does whatever he does with Series 14, that's going to be completely different. Unless he does the 60th and Series 14 is not actually some completely different. It's classic RTD, but with more money, better writing, and fucking being able to do what he's being able to do. I would like to see something new from him because I think it does need something. You know, I think he needs to bring something new to the party. I don't think doing the same. I think people on the panel would agree with me. I don't think repeating history is going to work for him this time. He needs to do something. But I think the 60th is kind of his way of doing the familiar, but with a bit of a twist. But whatever he has planned, because he's been hinting left, right, and centre. I told you already, didn't I? I said when he throws something up on Twitter or on Instagram, it's mostly on Instagram. But I says when he does an interview or throws up on Instagram, you have to keep a close eye on that. And another thing I'll add to that, keep a close eye on who he responds to as well, right? Because he responded to John Sim earlier in the week, and I think he let slip that because he said this doctor, right? RTD literally said this doctor. So I think he let the cat, and that could be done deliberately now because he knows fans know. I'll tease it a little bit, but I won't actually say it's happening. This is the mastery of RTD and the production team that he has behind him. They know how to play fans. They know how to fucking draw the fans in and the public. Doctor Who, I thought, was dead. This is why I'm so happy. I thought it was dead. I thought this show could never survive after what's happened. But there's a possibility. And looking at this 60th and the buzz around it, and even I'm buzzed. And look at the naysayers right now. Look at naysayers right now have every right to feel the way they feel. Right? I'm not gonna come out and bash anybody for feeling the way they felt because of the last few years. But if this 60th is any way decent, I think he'll win them over. I think he'll win. Well, he'll win some of them over. He won't win them. He won't win them all over. I think there's a lot in this fandom that no matter what happens, and it's sad to say because we see it in Star Wars fandom and Star Trek fandom, it doesn't matter what comes out with the Doctor Who name or the Doctor Who brand, they will never be happy with what's put out. And that's just an unfortunate consequence of the last few years. The media calling these fans out for no particular reason, calling them every name under the sun. And then the companies that are making these shows either staying silent while these long-term fans are attacked, or they're coming out and, you know, they're putting stuff in the show that's deliberately a dig at the long-term fans and then coming out and defending it. That's what companies do. That's what BBC have done. But I don't see RTD doing any of that right now. I mean, look, he's had a couple of confrontations on Instagram, but he's just shut it down straight away and he's just moved on, right? And that's the way it should always be. Anyway, but, right, I'm done. We always have a bit of a chat before we start. Anyway, it's been a while since we've been on. But here, just before we do start, right, we have 33 minutes, so I'll give you all about a minute each to just tell me, because we haven't been on in a while, so I haven't had you on in a while. So just briefly, all the video footage, all the photographs that we've seen over the last couple of weeks since we last had you on, all the Neil Patrick Harris announcement as well. Would you guys like to share your opinions to people in the chat? Have you liked what you have heard and seen so far? I'll start with Queen Charlotte. So obviously we haven't had you on in a while, but a lot of stuff has actually happened. And to me, it's been all positive. But how do you feel about it all?
Well, the most recent is the Neil Patrick Harris. And I just love his aura, the way he looks in the photos. He looks like this chaotic, powerful being. And I just think that's genius for your big villain. I am guessing he's the main villain. I think if he is the Celestial Toy Maker, that's another brilliant stroke. That in a sense, it's almost like a new character, because we've not seen him since the 60s. And even then, it wasn't a complete story. So it really is almost like this new character. It just looks so big, and it looks like Russell has finally been given the budget I think he always wanted, and he's finally been given the sort of the toys, and the sort of the money he's always wanted. And like the Beat the Meat stuff, like that's out there, and obviously I think that's more of one that we'll have to see on screen to see how it looks. But I'm intrigued, if nothing else. So yeah, I'm really excited and really positive for most.
Listen, I don't care what Beat the Meat looks like, right? Because we got the adipose and all from RTD. RTD does silly little monsters, right? This thing is gonna, by the looks of this thing, I agree with you, right? But I'll add to it, and I'll say I think this special is gonna have a bit for everybody. It's going to be serious. It's going to be funny. It's going to have your cute little fucking villain or merchandise. See, this will be all merchandise aimed as well. He's very clever, right? Right. But on top of that, then you've got these warriors. If that they are those warriors, right? Then, as you said, you've got him, Neil Patrick Harris, whoever he's playing. We're not quite sure, but that's going to be chaos, right? But that's all what we've seen through the fans and whatever. But what are they filming in studio that nobody can see? What scenes are they filming in a studio? You know what I mean? And also, I said this is quite a possibility. RTD could be clever here. You know, they leaked that they're filming in one location. All the fans go to that one location. So they go and see filming there, but they're filming somewhere else in secret. But nobody knows about it because they've already told the fans what they want. See, RTD is the master of misdirection. I wouldn't be surprised while all of that's going on, because it's been very public that they're going to be filming scenes at such and such a location. All the fans then flock there with their camera phones, yeah? But then RTD then can get his second team. Right, you just go out. There, we've got everybody here. You just go and do, well, you film Matt there and Peter there, right? We'll keep it a total surprise. And that's how you can keep it a surprise and keep that away from the fandom. Distract them with other filming. Of course, now I'm at the letting the cat out of the bag. You might get some clever Doctor Who fans now that might start sniffing around and saying, but that's what I would do if I was RTD. If I wanted to keep something secret, I wanted to keep a secret and distract the fans. Yeah, here's Neil Patrick Harris for you. By the way, we're filming scenes when I'm just down the road. Why don't you all pop down? Everybody pops down, bang, 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 camera phones out. They're off filming in secret somewhere else. Bang. Bring back Davros as well, why not? Actually, just bring them all back. For the 60th, let's have a greatest hits tour. I'm serious, man. Just bring them all back. Just whoever this fucker is, right? Just open the time rift and just let all of the Doctor's enemies just flood in, and he has to fight them all. And then it's too much for him that he has to seek the help from his former selves. Yeah. Anyway, that's me. But anything else you want to add there, Charlotte, on the stuff that you've seen now?
Nope.
Real Super Doctor then.
For the stuff that I've seen, this is going to be epic. I mean, this isn't going to be rubbish you get from Chris Chibnall. This is going to be something really, really interesting. And I was quite surprised that, well, I think we all kind of expected David Tennant to kind of return because he's the most popular Doctor, and the fact is that he has returned, and we don't really know how he has returned in that form. It's quite interesting, and there's a lot of speculation about it that it's a degeneration or something like that. But I don't buy the degeneration theory. It's mainly because that in the past events that he used that severed hand to kind of regenerate back. But what I think is, and this is my theory about how why he's back, is because the Master has stolen the Doctor's regeneration cycle, thinking that the Doctor's a timeless child, because the Master would want that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the Doctor isn't a timeless child, but the Master's stolen the Doctor's regenerations, and she can't regenerate, and she's dying, and manages to get back to Earth, and Unit has the hand, and it kind of gives the Doctor a temporary form, and it's like the Meta Crisis, but
but your theory would hold up if she actually was
Yeah.
regenerating on Earth, but she's not regenerating on Earth. She's regenerating on Gallifrey. It's already been confirmed. So she's regenerating on Gallifrey. She goes back to Gallifrey after being. So that must mean Gallifrey is back then. There you go. So she goes back to Gallifrey, according to these rumors, and she regenerates. Well, she starts to regenerate on top of a hill, and apparently, like I said, one of my rumors said it was just going to fade to black, and apparently you're just going to hear this sinister laugh at the end, and it's going to cut out, and that's it. Done. That's what one of the rumors is saying. But listen, I want to get PD in real quick because I just realised we're coming to 9 o'clock. I know Charlotte leaves shortly, and this is on for, I think, an hour. So we want to get...
it's an hour, I think. I had a look before.
Right, so we'll get PD to give his, and then we'll get straight into... So get you our time with the Doctor ready, and everybody in the chat while PD is talking, please press 1 so we can just get straight into the countdown. Go ahead, PD.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for anything. It's nice to beat the meat back, and they're going to bring it back. And I do think you're right. I think they're probably using a lot of subterfuge and all. They're doing it for the right reasons. I mean, I think Matt's going to be back, and I think Peter's going to be back. And I just can't wait. And I do not think this is going to be it's going to be one special. I think it's going to be about 2 or 3 specials.
Yeah. I think he has Doctor Who's best. And I know there's people out there suspicious because of the last 5 years, but I honestly do believe that. Look, if you've seen what he's bringing back right now, and I know it's David Tennant, but if you see what he's bringing back, this would have been a very early indicator if he was going to go in a certain direction. But to me, it just looks like he's going to write Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So again, I think that reinforces our argument that when it comes to Doctor Who, he knows that he can't do all the stuff that Chibs did with Doctor Who. It doesn't work for Doctor Who. It's a completely different animal. But anyway, yeah, some exciting times ahead anyway, folks. And I see that there's a lot of wands in there.
And I do hope it is a toy maker, because I think the toy maker deserves to be brought back, because toy maker keeps missing out.
Yeah. Anyway, just let me get this ready. I'm watching it on this app for a change, because apparently it doesn't come through now, so which is good, because I'd rather watch all these on my computer. It's an hour and 3 minutes, so we'll get it done in time. So without further ado, if everybody on the panel, and I see everybody in the chat is already ready. So guys, are you on the panel? Are you ready yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, Charlotte, you know what to do.
Yep. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh yeah, it's the trend. The trends a lot. Yeah, trends a lot. Actually, this one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You can't hear my audio. No, you can't hear my audio coming through, can you?
No, I can't hear anything.
Yes.
Oh look, it's the Alliance, but it's not the Alliance, because they never went down that path.
I mean, even looking at the CGI here, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Moffat
it's
was
not that
really
bad
good.
for its time.
But I think by the end of Matt's run, Moffat got the CGI almost to a T. Like when he wanted spaceships, when he wanted big scale things, he got very good at it.
Yeah, the Mill were good at that.
I love his face here. I love his face here. I watch his face here when he realizes. It's like, oh shit.
Wrong one.
Like, oh, what have I done?
I loved Matt Smith's reaction to the Daleks, though. Oh, handles. Oh, this is the handles episode.
Yes. Where they're basically like a dysfunctional couple.
Justice for handles.
Yeah, pterodactyls being mentioned, but not seen. Love this TARDIS.
That's, they should have fucking created the Dalek head with lights and had voices and like the way it is there, a prop like that for the kids for Christmas that would have sold.
Yeah, cyber.
I would have bleeding bought one. What are you talking about? Feck the kids. Give me one.
See, this comedy works. It's the stuff with Clara in a minute, which doesn't work as well. This stuff does.
Yeah.
No.
Because he's just being so like indignant, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is what ruins it.
Yeah, this is the
except for the times where she keeps going back to him. Like, I like that, but this whole crap here, and the part where he walks into the family naked as well.
Yeah,
I know that's played for a laugh. Told him I was up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is when it was, because I remember even at the time I was like, I don't buy the romance stuff. I can buy her being a bit like, what word am I thinking? Like, obviously he's an adventurer, like that sort of being almost in his like amazed by him. But I didn't really buy the romance stuff.
Yeah.
This is the episode he's actually wearing a wig because he got his hair cut for
Terminator.
For a film.
Terminator,
It was for Terminator, Terminator Gen Z, and they listen. That movie does get stick, right? I will say there was a good core idea there, but Matt Smith should have featured more as as the artificial intelligence
Yeah.
Skynet. They cut a lot of his scenes out. If you look at the
Yeah.
movies where he's supposed to be in, right? There's a lot of cuts, and I'm like, I'm
Still
looking
love
at the
his
scenes
intro.
that they cut out. I'm like, you cut that scene. He's literally stole the fucking scene. Like
Yeah.
he's actually in Harry Brown, right? That movie with Michael Caine. There's actually a cut scene of him playing a younger Harry Brown, where Harry Brown's mate's wife or something is murdered. Harry Brown, he walks straight into this pub and he literally pulls out this gun and pulls the trigger and blows your man's brains out, and he is sinister in it. And he's doing that walk that he does, you know, the funny walk Matt Smith has. He does that walk, walking out, and it just like, he blew me away. And I was like, you cut that scene from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clara is an abomination, but she's crap at the start of the episode. But I do love the dialogue between her and the Doctor every time she keeps coming back to him, because you realise he's trying to protect her, you know, and she doesn't want to be protected. And at this stage, she starts getting reckless.
She starts getting cocky. That's the thing.
Cocky and reckless.
Yeah.
Oh, and tell you what, if Matt does come back, I hope he has this outfit. I hope they give him this outfit.
Yeah.
Like this outfit.
Or they might. Here's a question: would you like it a bit of a change? Because obviously they've changed Tennant's outfit. Do you think?
I would love his jacket from. I don't like this jacket. I know you like this jacket. I prefer the other jacket, the longer jacket.
Oh, the more purple one.
Frock coat one, yeah.
Yeah, that or this, I think would be the ones if they were
like
to bring him
that
back.
jacket is nice, but I like the kind of it's a different color. It's slightly different color. It's a purple or something.
Yeah, it's like a
black color. Yeah,
it's like a purple / plum sort of color.
Yeah, I quite like the tweed from the second one that he wore, the tweed coat. It was like a kind of a sports jacket thing with the elbow patches on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Series 5 when it was like a proper geography teacher.
I think it's kind of a bit Series 6. Yeah.
He had the longer one in Series 6. He had that really long frock coat, kind of cowboy frock coat.
See, this is the thing with Clara. It's like you want him to just drop everything and come and help you be your pretend boyfriend.
Yeah.
She not use Google.
Yeah, it's just this is when you really started.
She's supposed to be a teacher and she can't use Google. Yeah, it's like hope for the future.
This is when you started.
Tom.
No, that's right. This is when you started to see the sort of my needs become the most important thing in the universe.
Yeah.
With Clara.
Yeah. See, this is why the TARDIS didn't like Clara either. I mean, you're gonna go down to our engine room to fucking cook a turkey because you're a fucking useless twat. Sorry, but I'm sorry, but that annoys me, man.
Yeah.
It annoys me. It does. We got Raymond O'Reilly in the chat. Welcome, Raymond. Welcome. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like the jacket that he's wearing now, but I prefer the other one.
Purple one, although.
Or the one that he wore in the Snowman.
What did you think of David Tennant's costume, though? Did you see the trousers now? They're gone all tartan. He's gone tartan. The suit is tartan. It's fucking deadly looking.
It's a kind of check. I think it's a kind of about brown and red and blue check.
Yeah, it is a heart. It's definitely. I don't care what anybody says. Even if it's not tartan, it's inspired by tartan. It's definitely. A callback to his Scottish
roots. Wore something similar as well.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the Converse trainers this time. A different kind of shade of Converse.
Yeah, I've seen him. By the way, he's wearing two different jackets. He's wearing his original brown jacket and he's wearing this new jacket. There's
Wow.
something a lot more going on with David Tennant's doctor. There's something definitely going on with his doctor. But anyway, when they mentioned Gallifrey in this episode, though, I was like, but it can't be. I was like the doctor, but it can't be Gallifrey. It makes no sense. Gallifrey is gone.
I love Matt's reaction though. You can see that sort of confusion.
It's Morgana.
And as always, you know, Doctor Who, one thing that we do know about RTD, he loves bringing in Irish people into the show.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see a bit more Irish representation, not the way that Chibnall did it with Brendan or whatever his fucking name was, and then disappeared and we never saw him again.
Yeah.
And they did an episode in Ireland, remember? Well, they say it was filmed in Ireland, but I doubt it was filmed in Ireland, but it was set in Ireland. It'd be nice if RTD did it properly now and did Banshees or something. The Doctor goes back through time or something and does Banshees or something. You know, like the Unquiet Dead. Do something a bit like the Banshees, Irish ancient mythology. It'd be brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was to do with the Titanic or something like that, it would have.
Well, he's already done the Titanic in space.
Yeah.
Was that him? That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Voyage of the Damned was him.
Voyage of the Damned.
Yeah, Charlie, you were going to say something there.
No, I'm just saying Irish mythology is so crazy. Like, you could easily create a monster from anything.
Barges or Banshees,
Listen, as kids, right, that's the bedtime story that we're told so we don't get out of bed or sneak.
Oh, your parents must
out.
really hate you.
Was the story of the Banshee. My ma used to tell a great Blade story. I remember our stories actually back in the day were great, and she'd tell a story about a black dog that would follow you in your dreams. And a lot of people actually talk about that black dog following you in your dreams, and no matter what you do, you can't get away from this dog. I've actually had that dream myself. I think we all do as humans have a dream similar where someone is chasing us, but no matter how far or how fast we run, they're still with you no matter what you do. She used to tell our story about the Banshee, and you know, she'd tell it while it was dark, right? She'd leave the curtain open so you just see the sky, the dark sky, the lights outside, and we were up in a block of flats, so we were high up, and she'd tell the story, and every time she was talking about, we just kept looking at the window because we knew all she could come through windows and all this, like, you know what I mean? Didn't matter whether you were up on a high level or a low level. If the Banshee wanted to get you, the Banshee would get you. Like, but we used to love those stories. Like, listen, there's nothing wrong with telling a kid. This is what I hate about modern entertainment as well. They're so afraid to frighten kids now because they're afraid of a backlash. Listen for a minute. If parents are giving it out their kids being frightened, well then, in their own childhood it was happening. You can't protect kids like that, right? It builds them character. Trust me. Me watching Nightmare on Elm Street didn't turn me into a psychopathic murderer, or playing video games didn't turn me into a mass shooter. You know, all the usual stupid excuses that people make when things go wrong. Can RTD bring Charlotte awesome co-host to play Davros? It's the silence, love. It just doesn't make any sense. They were going to see the thing about silence that annoys me is that there's such a good villain. I think personally, The Impossible Astronaut, and that two-parter actually wasn't bad, and it was very good, very creepy. But again, with everything Stephen Moffat, he either doesn't, and this is the thing. This is a genuine criticism. Sometimes villains that he brought in like that, he didn't develop them too well. And then we see him, then he just stuck them in every chance that he got. Whereas you look at his Weeping Angels, he developed them further. He didn't just stick them in for the sake of sticking them in. He actually developed them further. But the silence I would love to see come back sometime. get even if RTD got Moffat to come back, but I would like him to address the silence again. I would like him. I would like to know the silence's origin, right? I know we kind of got that part of this church, but where did the silence actually come from? How were they first spotted? If you can't actually see them, you can see them, but then you forget them. Do you know that sort of way? How was
That's why the Renegades wore the eye patches so they could see them.
Yeah, but how was that technology also invented? You know what I mean? There's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah, that's Moffat.
Yeah, you get the impression, well, I do, especially watching back now Matt's last series, that he had to cut short a lot of stuff with the silence, and if he probably would have had another series with Matt, he would have gone a lot more into them.
Yeah.
It really does have that air about it of unfinished business.
That's the thing. When you seen them in the first two-parter, you were expecting the silence to feature quite heavily then, because they were going to be kind of the main villain. Obviously, it didn't turn out that they were the main villain, but you know what I mean? Would have gave us the impression that they were anyway. But no, they appeared and then they kind of disappeared for a while, and then they came back then near the end. I was like, well, what's the point, man? Anyway. Yeah, he's just crap at the payoff sometimes. That's it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always crap, Daniel.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Alliance in this one. It doesn't say they're the Alliance, but we know they're the Alliance.
Now this is a scene that's coming up, right? Because it's always confused me. So River is dead, yeah? Or River is supposed to be dead, right? Yeah. But she has a psychic link to Clara, but then the question is asked, but why does she? And then she says something like spoilers. So was that indicating, because I've never got that, because I don't know if that was actually explained or I missed it. But was that saying that she was still alive?
Might be. I'm not too sure.
I was going to say, I think in this episode, River doesn't turn up. I think you're thinking of the actual series finale.
The Wives of River Song.
Oh, hold on. I thought this was the graveyard. Yeah. I'm getting confused. It's the Weeping. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. See, it's been a while since we watched them. But still, that still did bother me. Was that saying that that she was alive because she was supposed to be in the Moon, Dr. Moon? That's where she ended up. She ended up in that mainframe.
From what I can remember,
the library.
She got a link with Clara because they were all in that mind link that Jenny and Vastra were in. So that's how she got the connection then to Clara.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Oh, this is where he pulled the fucking he pulled the key out of because he had to show that he was wearing because they wanted to play, because a lot of people, because I remember Moffat kind of threw his toys out of the pram because people were saying that the wig on Matt Smith looked very fake. So I think he just because Moffat did do the same thing, he just threw in a scene to kind of like take the piss.
Did you hear that? He's a Time Lord from Gallifrey. He's not the Timeless Child.
Okay, I don't care what. Look, this is the thing. Don't even bring that up because I don't think that. Look, we got one more episode.
I think it's going to be erased.
But I don't really care what he does with it. I actually don't now. Look, if it is the Timeless Children, who cares? Who cares if RTD comes back and does his own thing and says that Dr. 14 is from Gallifrey, right? That's it. It's like, just forget.
We'll all clap if he does that, mate.
Listen for a minute. People ignore the movie, don't they? Yeah. So just fucking ignore this, man. Yeah. Just ignore this. Yeah, I know it's 3 fucking seasons, a little bit harder than the fucking movie, but still, you don't consider it canon.
But the movie was explained in the end. That was something completely different from the original synopsis for it. The original Bible, Leakley's Bible. It was just taken out, left in the movie accidentally. The whole thing, his father was supposed to be Ulysses. Anyway,
fuck them. They've got one more episode in November. What? Give us a timestamp, will you? Because it paused on me.
1825.
1828. There we go.
And here's Moffat desperately trying to get everything together now. You could sense. It almost. I think
What's
it's
the
done
crack?
well, but it's like, right, we've got the crack back now. We've got a few different elements.
No, I will give him this, right? He did do a lot over his thing, and we were all sitting here saying there's no way that he's going to be able to explain it all, right?
Yeah.
But I'll give him one thing. He didn't explain every single thing, but he got the main things that needed to be explained. Even if we didn't like the resolution, right?
Yeah.
It was still explained, right? That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Then the fan debate can be, well, did he explain it properly or was it rushed or whatever? And that, but it was still explained. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what side of the argument you're on. He still explained it. You know what I mean? Whereas with Chibs, we were here and we were like, well, what's he trying to do? And we were all arguing with each other, trying to find what the fuck is he trying to do? You know what I mean? And these fans were like, well, we know what he's trying to do. Well, tell us what he's trying to do. Well, he's trying to. Oh, we don't know what he's trying to do, but we're going to pretend. Here's a couple of articles. Oh, here's the brain of Morbius. This is what he's trying to do. Fans trying to construct things for him to try and make it make sense. But yeah, the main things he did explain what the crack in the wall was, even though I don't originally think the crack in the wall was a crack into Gallifrey in the first place. I think he might have just come up with that.
The Time Lords are using the crack in the end.
Yeah, so I think he just, but I just think he came up with that the last minute to make the crack, because people were asking what was the crack all about. So he said, oh, well, let's say the Time Lords are using it, and that's how we get the regeneration for the second So it worked in his favour.
Because originally it was a TARDIS exploding, wasn't it, the crack?
Yeah, supposed to be because of the because of the events and were erased in the fractured time.
That's it.
Here's my favourite line.
Appeared.
What's the line? What's the question? Doctor Who. Doctor Who. I just love that. Even when when Dorian, after he had his head and he Doctor Who, that was there. Just see, this is what Moffat is.
The new question is Doctor Why.
I just would have loved him to get Moffat, set Moffat down and just said, listen. Just fucking reel it in a little bit, will you?
Yeah.
Reel it in. You're a great fucking writer, but reel it in. Read just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when you do reel it in a little bit, you give us things like Heaven Sent.
Yeah.
Reel it in. Right, even Face of the Raven, wasn't that what it was called? Yeah.
That was a good one.
Little three-parter there actually is not bad in between that series. People don't give it the credit that it actually deserves. Isn't there one before that, and then there's that one, and then there's Heaven Sent? Like it's pretty good. I know we get hell-bent after that, but we won't fucking talk about that one. I can't believe people like Hellbent. I just
didn't mind it. A few bits in it should have been removed, though.
Now, from this point onwards, this is some of my favourite Matt acting in his whole tenure.
Yeah.
As soon as he decides now, you can just see a switch in him. That all the sort of silliness at the beginning, all the slightly jokiness.
Yeah, now it's business.
Gone.
Yeah. Now it's game on. It's like, that's it. Battle lines are drawn now. Gallifrey comes back. There's going to be all out. I'm the man that has to stop all of this from happening. And that's the way the Doctor should be. Shouldn't be selfish, going across the universe trying to find out who you are while everything in the universe gets destroyed. Like, that's not what you do.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you.
It'd be nice if they bring Gallifrey back and have Gallifrey and Time Lords trying to catch the Doctor.
It should be that the Doctor knows who he is, but just pretends that he doesn't.
Yeah. I'd love for Chibnall's ending if she's summoned back to Gallifrey and she's forced to regenerate.
Yeah.
Because of what she's done to the universe, and that's the consequence. Because remember, there was consequences for Troughton's Doctor.
Yeah.
So there should be consequences for fucking Whittaker's Doctor. Because look what she has done. Like nobody can, and this is not me having a go, but look what she's actually done. What Chris has written our doctor to have done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she should pay for all of that.
Yeah.
If that was the Daleks doing that, or the Cybermen doing that, we'd all be,
Yeah.
and the universe would be up in arms, wouldn't they?
She does come off as a psychopath, though, doesn't she? The stuff that Whittaker's doctor's done, she comes off a complete psychopath.
Yeah. It was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday to her.
I just didn't throw Anton up because I'd be disingenuous, but
Yeah.
because, you know, why would I wish the woman a happy birthday that I believe ruined the show? But, you know,
Yeah.
I won't make a big deal out of it or write about it up on Twitter, which I won't. And I have even defended her. I mean, some people are just being fucking stupid at this stage. Look at it. There's no denying that she put her foot in it and she said a lot of things that she shouldn't have. I think we all know that. But she's gone now. You know, it's time to let that go.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong now with the fandom.
I can't let it go.
Listen, I don't want us to turn out like the Star Wars or the Star Trek fandoms. We're better than that.
Yeah,
and we are better than that. Right? Yes, we've had a terrible 5-7 years maybe for a lot of people because some didn't like the Moffat era. Right? But there's light at the end of the tunnel now. And I'm going to grasp it with every fucking fibre of me being, man. I just cannot wait to see what he does for this special. The old cars, we've got a bit of few. I'm telling you, man, this episode is going everywhere, it looks like. And I can't wait. And have you noticed as well, I've noticed this. So we've seen Yasmin Finney, and they made a big deal about her filming, but we haven't heard that since or seen her in filming since. So how much of this episode is she actually in? She's probably not in. She's probably not in. She probably goes on an adventure with the Doctor, maybe, but I don't think it's going to be the full episode.
I think it's mostly Donna and the Doctor.
Because it looks like it's mostly yeah, exactly. With the photographs and the shots I'm seeing, it's mostly Donna and the Doctor. So
I'm getting sort of. I wouldn't be surprised if she's almost a bit like how Jackie was with Russell's first run. That she appeared in some bits, she was on Earth, but she didn't go out an adventure.
No.
Do you know what I think?
Mickey Smith,
do I think more, like I said, the more familiar link, like Jackie was to Rose.
Yeah.
She's
because remember Jackie's first reaction when she went into the TARDIS, Charlotte. Like when she first seen the TARDIS, she looked around the TARDIS. You remember when it was the aliens in London and World War III? Do you remember when she goes into the TARDIS and she sees the TARDIS and she panics and she rings the police? Like, you know, I mean,
that's what I think. Yasmin's character is going to be like a different take because it's a daughter, but I think Russell's going to take a similar approach. So I agree, she's not going to be part of the main cast in a sense. That's Donna, that's Rose, that's Donna, that's the Doctor, that's probably Neil Patrick Harris. Like she's going to be family background almost, still important, but now we got old Matt.
Yeah.
and the wooden cyber. I will say, I did like this wooden Cyberman. The only problem is that I had with it is wooden Cybermen are not shiny unless you varnish them. So why didn't you just make them look like natural wood?
Yeah.
Oh, but just like I said, look at Matt. Like his walk, his whole body language has changed, and he's just perfect with this all sort of crotchety voice. Because he was always the old man, he just looked young. And this is why I adore this concept. He's finally looking the age he always was inside. And I think, honestly, that's what Moffat wanted to do.
This part reminds me of Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Jane Wilder.
They all love him and they all worship him because they
Yeah.
saved him.
Well,
And
he's
they're
their
having parties.
Yeah.
he's their guardian. He's their defender.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. This is the first time, probably, well, not the first time, but this is a time where the Doctor just he cannot run away.
Yeah.
You know, he actually has to stay.
I'll stay and fight.
Stay and fight, but it's not when he wins the battle, it's not as if, well, he thought he'd have to stay there and die, you know what I mean? But he was willing to actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, if you're doing a Christmas special, right, it's not a Christmas special without Matt Smith's Doctor in it,
Yeah.
RTD.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, you know, RTD, Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, David Tennant, come on, make it happen.
It'd be funny if she was
300 years though, but 300 years. 300 years. But you see, he could have left here. That's the point. He could have actually left, but he didn't.
It'd be funny if she ended up as a corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that whore hanging onto the TARDIS, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead. Oh dear. Silly Billy should have been hanging on the TARDIS.
Well, the last person who did that was Jack.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just came back to life at the other end.
So as he was getting older, he started to make toys for the children.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very sentimental episode, this one.
Oh, yeah, at this point, we're getting very much into that, PD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like these scenes with them because, you know, there's no Clara trying to fucking be better than him. It's just she knows the situation they're in now. She realizes now looking at all these pictures. And there's Handles.
Oh, but this is when he explains to her that he knows he hasn't got another regeneration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just that he chose to stay, which is something. He chose to stay knowing he would die.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a noble sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this completely shows off the nobility of the Doctor, and it's one of the reasons why I love the Doctor stuff in this.
Yeah, I remember at the time that annoyed me actually. But now that I think about it, it actually makes sense. Oh, Handles. We love Handles. Devastated for Handles. No, when he loses Handles, right?
His eyes.
Yeah.
Right, I'm being honest with you, right? When he loses Handles, right? Listen, there's certain scenes, right, in certain movies or TV shows, right? For me, another one that was similar was when Tom Hanks lost Wilson, right? And he literally loses shit and tries to swim out to get Wilson, right? This is the same thing here with Handles.
Yeah.
You could just tell because you've got to remember, yes, he's got all those people around him, he's protecting them, but that's his job. But when he goes home at night, which he does, he's sitting in that little room and he's lonely. So who's he got to talk to? All right, Barnable might come in and say hello to him, but Handles has been there the whole time. So when he loses handles, you could just see how devastated he actually is.
Yeah.
Right, just a quick timestamp.
33.
Okay, I'm at 20 seconds behind. This is it. Like, look at him.
Yeah.
But it's his face when he goes, right? Watch. Right now he's just like, ah,
Yeah.
ah. Man, I never thought I'd actually get emotional over a Cyberman head, but there you go.
Yeah.
But Clara's face says it all as well, because she realizes, like, 300 years he's been there with handles, like it's been 300 years, remember?
Yeah.
And look at the way he's shaking him.
Yeah.
Oh. Aww.
Somebody get a timestamp.
35.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a couple of seconds ahead. He is. He was trying to protect you, Clara.
Yeah.
He's always trying to protect her.
That's what he said he would have buried her a long time ago. I mean, Clara, that's what I mean. Clara should have just understood and stopped being selfish. Like, he wasn't doing it because he didn't want you around anymore. He was doing this and making the ultimate sacrifice because he wanted to make sure he wasn't standing over your broken body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, he has lost Amy at this point.
Yeah, and Rose before that. Martha left of her own accord, but he'd lost Rose. He'd lost, obviously, because it's the same character. So he lost Rose, and then he lost Amy, as you said. And the way he lost Amy is...
Had to give Donna up.
Yeah.
My point with Amy is because he says nearly the exact same line in God Complex about standing over your grave.
Yeah.
And I think it's on purpose he uses that same bit of dialogue, because if you think about it, he let Amy go, and then because of his own loneliness, he allowed her back in, and then she died. So he's gone through this and then went back on his choice and then lost her. So it's like, I think this is why I personally think he does this again to Clara. He sends her away again because he's like, I can't be weak again. I can't go back on my word because I know it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I never understood though about this, right? So he's there for 300 years, right? He's a very intelligent man. Yeah? You mean to tell me he couldn't have educated a few of these to become scientists or was it part of his mantra that he doesn't interfere with the natural development of the species? So therefore, if they don't have the technology, he'll use his technology, but he won't encourage them to use his technology, if you get me. Bit like the Prime Directive. You don't interfere with a pre-warp civilization, basically.
Yeah.
Well, you see, he doesn't let anybody inside the TARDIS anyway.
Leland says, any news in the world? No, we're here to talk about the time of the Doctor. You know, I don't care what's going on in the world unless, you know, there's world peace or something and there's an end to world hunger and maybe Manchester United actually do a bit of transfer fucking business. And Peter Capaldi's announced he's coming back for the anniversary special along with Matt Smith. That'd be great. But other than that, don't give a shit what's happening in the world. They could drop a nuke somewhere and I don't care, right?
Yeah.
Because Raggedy Man is coming up later on, and we're going to be in tears, so we don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that part. I listen. Last night as well, I was actually watching clips of Man of Steel, and I got very emotional actually when he walks out for the first time as Superman, when he comes out of the ship and he goes for his first flight. And I actually got, I don't know what it was, but just emotion just overtook me. And I just and I actually put it up on Twitter, and I said, "This is why." I think it was like he is Superman or something like that. I wrote.
Oh.
He's just brilliant, man. Listen, brilliant, man.
This is typical Moffat. This is creepy. Like when she says, "I did scream your name," it's like, yeah, that's typical Moffat.
Yeah, what did people think of these? He start doing this quite a lot with Daleks, putting them inside people.
Yeah.
Dark agents.
Zombie Daleks.
Like, I mean, it was a good concept, but it just.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I was expecting Latasha Lem was the master, because Tasha Lem, you could rearrange it and it'd be called like Lee Master.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking of it was the master. Turning into a Dalek.
I died in this room screaming your name. She died.
Yeah. I didn't turn into the master though, because she's been Morgana. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that made no sense though either. You can't literally just fight a Dalek taking over your whole body. It just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, people say, "Oh, you criticize Chibnall all the time." Trust me, during the Moffat era, it's just most of us weren't on social media as much as we are now.
Yeah.
But we were giving out on Facebook and all about how
yeah.
bad some of Moffat's writing was. It was bleeding ridiculous.
Loose end.
Yeah.
It was known for loose ends.
And that's what he was known for. You know, loose ends, but at least he tried to tie them all up. And this, over his specials, he did try to tie up a lot of things. But I will say again, the Daleks being brought back.
Yeah. I just hope RTD when he comes to he brings in Dalek variants.
Yeah.
Because the bronze ones have been kind of overdone for a long time now.
It's better than Moffat's variants.
Yeah, the Rainbow Daleks.
Yeah, Teletubby Daleks.
Power Ranger Daleks.
M&M's Daleks, yeah. You need to kind of fix them in Asylum, though, so...
I mean, you must have realised the criticism these Daleks got. I mean, they look like car bumpers, plastic car bumpers.
Have you seen the original blueprints for them? The original drawings?
I've not seen the original ones, no.
They're in the vault and they look much better than what they was produced.
And that's why the Moffat haters hated Moffat, by the way.
Yeah.
Because the Doctor just grabbed her there and kissed her.
Yeah.
And then Karen Gillan's, Amy tried to hop on Matt Smith's Doctor. He was accused of sexism I don't think it was sexism. I think he was trying to play some of these scenes for a laugh, and he didn't mean any harm. Like, because we used to be a society that could actually laugh at everything, but we started getting serious. So, you know, a lot of the people don't realize this, but Steve, you know, all this feminist agenda we talked during the Whittaker era, it didn't start in the Whittaker era, right? Stephen Moffat very early on in his era was criticized by radical feminists. There was actually a podcast done each week about every episode that he did. They actually, I didn't know this until I did research a few years back, and John White did research on them as well. These women constantly harassed Stephen Moffat during his reign. And that's why this man ended up coming off social media. That's why he came off social media. So, you know, this feminist agenda has been pushed. Has been pushed ever since the Moffat era. So let's not be under any illusion here. These lunatics, and they're still around today. These lunatics, they're just not as prevalent. They nearly got cancelled because they said something. Because like what most radical feminists do, they always cross that line and say something utterly despicable. And they did. They accused them of all sorts of nasties with no evidence to back it up. I mean, we've got enough Amber Heards in the world. Let's just say. Ridiculous carry on. So he had to deal with all of that, man. And, you know, look at him over the years. He stayed in contact with Jenna. He's stayed in contact with Karen. That man was sexist. He wouldn't have any of those girls around. Trust me. And all the agenda that was forced, it was forced in. I do believe now, because you look at his writing, we've always said that. Before he was showrunner, his writing was great. Right?
Yeah.
Now, he did invent the timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly shit, which kind of did annoy me. I'm not going to lie, but I kind of got used to it then. But look at his writing, right? When he was left to his own devices. Look at Heaven Sent. No agenda in that brilliant episode. So I do believe, and a lot of people have said this, that BBC forced agenda on him. I'm starting to believe that. Yeah.
So am I.
I agree. So I don't blame him. Because look at Sherlock. I mean, the first couple of seasons of Sherlock, no matter what you think of the last couple of seasons, but the first couple of seasons are great. The writing is fucking brilliant. So how could he write Sherlock so well and not then he's writing in Doctor Who just tail away? Now, I've always said maybe it's because he was working on two shows at the same time and he got distracted. And I did say that last week. But thinking about it further, if he had scripts ready for Doctor Who, but they were saying, yeah, we like that, Moff, but listen, you know, we've got quotas to start filling now, and we're, you know, Ofcom and all of these other places are on air back because, you know, we're not including enough, you know, diversity into the show. So you've got to change your scripts, mate. Maybe that's what happened.
Diversity and inclusion at BBC ruined a lot of things.
This is the fight at the table.
Yeah. They're all raving on at the moment, the BBC, because they've got a new newsroom. It's like, well, how much did that cost you?
No, this is some really good acting, to be fair, off Gemma. I always say Jenna. I always say her name wrong. When she sees him now, you can really see it's a shock.
Yeah.
Oh, I must be because they're at the kitchen table.
Oh, we're 47 minutes in.
What are you on?
47:36.
Same as PD.
47:36. So I'm 6 seconds behind you.
Yeah.
Just met a doctor again. Old doctor.
Yeah.
No, she's hugging her grandmother now at the table.
Well, that's ages ago.
Oh.
What?
No,
Couldn't
he's kissing her hand now.
Yeah.
I'm on 47, 50, 58.
The Daleks are coming.
Yeah,
48
now.
48.
Right, the TARDIS has come back just right now. She's running out of the kitchen.
She's ready to pull the cracker with him.
Yeah, pulling the cracker. And Dalek's coming.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we are at the right. You're confusing me there. But it's not him. Yeah, no, see, this is another thing as well that I didn't like with Moffat. Right, not everybody could fly the TARDIS, right? And that needs to be cut out as well, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one thing I liked about the RTD era. Not everybody could fly the fucking TARDIS.
I have a feeling that was supposed to be River Song in that one, for some reason.
No, but in this episode, Clara doesn't fly the TARDIS. Doesn't the TARDIS take her to
Yeah.
him? Oh no! Oh, it's no. I'm wrong. It's the Pope lady, isn't it?
Yeah, Pope lady.
You see, the TARDIS can go on pre-programmed coordinates.
Yeah.
So the Doctor can do that himself.
Oh, this is where he's a really old man now. This is where he's got the curly grey hair.
So on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell they had a bit of Hartnell in mind. I think when they were making him look old.
It's great that his performances, he can really actually be like an old man.
Yeah.
Well, this is why his Doctor stands out. He always had a young face, but he played it old. So now that we see him in old makeup, he's just even more convincing. Oh, when he tries to break the cracker, though, that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh. See, this is when Clara is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, Moffat, you fucking shot yourself in the foot with this one. Oh. Oh, this is the poem. I don't get it. You can already tell what the fucker is doing, though. He's giving you little scenes like this because he's ramping it up now, and he wants to make us all cry.
Yeah.
I'll give Moffat one thing. When it came to the emotional side of things, he did deliver. I mean, when Amy walks down and says Raggedy, I don't care. It doesn't matter how many times you see that scene.
That's the scene that gets me.
Yeah.
Even in an adventure in space and time, the part where fucking what's his face?
David Bradley
is standing beside the fireplace as William Hartnell. And he's basically talking about he doesn't want to leave Doctor Who. That really, if that really did happen to me, that got to me.
I would expect that happened in real life when he was with his wife Heather. You know, when he had that news and he had to break it to her that he wasn't carrying on as Doctor Who, and it must have been a sad time for him.
I say he was devastated. That's what makes it worse, because if he really was like that, I just wanted to give him a hug.
Yeah. And then when we returned from the to the three doctors, he wasn't quite well.
Do you have to go, Charlotte?
Yeah. Sorry, but it's a bit earlier than 10, I know, tonight.
Ow.
Oh, yeah, there was only 10 minutes left. All right. Okay. Unfortunately. All right, do you want to do your channel shout-outs?
Yeah, so very quickly, you'll catch me on Type 40 and on Daniel Leach's channel where we're doing a mixed line of duties our next stream.
Love this music.
Fantastic. And your rating real quickly?
I'll have to give this a 10, even though the beginning is a little bit cringy. I will admit that, but once we get on the town Christmas, and we get the stuff with Matt's doctor sort of accepting his end and deciding to stand, like I said, and defend and sort of doom himself to age and to sort of take that noble sacrifice. And we've all said this before, I think his leaving speech is just the right mixture of sentiment and sort of not wanting to go, but accepting it and talking about how change is needed and how you got to accept it. But there's still that essence of sadness. But I think Moffat just the mixture of it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
So I've got to give this a 10 because I just think for the 11th Doctor, and as a massive fan of the 11th Doctor, this is the sort of act and the sort of way I would see the Doctor going out in this sort of fashion. So I have to give it a 10.
Fantastic. And the crack is just, I love that team. It was a bit of Clara's team with the new Capaldi team coming through, if people noticed, actually. But yeah, Charlotte, have a good one. Thanks for popping on.
Hello, Charlotte.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Hi. I love this bit.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
His eyes are hilarious.
Got a bit of Sorcerer's Apprentice.
The fact is, even as an old man, they still fear him.
Yeah.
Like, they're only coming down now because they think, because he is a little bit weaker, that they have a little chance. But you see the Daleks fly. I only noticed that only recently, right? Because I wasn't paying attention. But did you notice the Daleks flying around them in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. The crack in the sky.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm still going to say it though, I still think this is a cop-out.
Yeah.
They could have found a different way of giving them regenerations.
Well, the Master got it the same way, so. It's canonical, I'll say that.
The rules. This speech. This is why Matt Smith's Doctor, even in the Pandorica Opens, he had a great speech. Never ever tell me the rules. Matt Smith has to come back. There's without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
If they don't bring Matt Smith back for this special, it's a fucking travesty, man. Travesty. And he still looks the fucking same, so they should capitalize on Matt Smith as much as fucking possible, because he's always regretted. He thought it was the right time to leave. He did actually expect his career to go a little bit better than it did. And let's be honest, we all thought the same as well. And he was given big movie roles. It was just, it's that unfortunate thing as an actor. Sometimes your scenes are just cut. It happens to the big megastars, believe it or not. It happens. But he has said that he regretted. He thought he left a little bit too early. I agree. I think he did.
Yeah.
But think about him under fucking Chibnall.
Oh, God.
I know.
Love from Gallifrey, boys. Oh, there's the Moffat did love blowing up Daleks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We're on the regeneration, I'm afraid. Love this scene.
Oh no, because it explains why the telephone. Because we always wondered why the phone was hanging out in the very next episode. Then we actually get to see it, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the little scene explaining to Americans what's happened.
Yeah, but that scene was also included because
Yeah.
Moffat was trying to, because the fans had fallen so in love with Matt Smith's Doctor,
Yeah.
and because he was so young, they needed to
Yeah.
get that transition. So that's why they did that scene. He is the
Yeah.
Doctor, you
Yeah.
know. So it is kind of sad that they had to do that.
Yeah.
But that's modern fandom for you. If unfortunately, if you
Unlike
do,
us, I didn't grow up with it, so
no, so they see the Doctors a certain way, and you know, as fans, that is sometimes hard for us to stomach. But you know, sometimes these fans are right, though. Yeah, I mean, Matt Smith, there's his fish fingers and custard.
Oh
But
no, this is it.
Yeah.
This scene just.
It just cracks me up.
Yeah.
It's just the camera work as well. This is very well
Yeah,
done.
it's well done.
But she was angry with him, but you could understand because so was Rose. It is
Yeah.
kind of hard to adapt, but I think Clara took it a little bit too far. They always fly off in the. Can you know? Do you know what? That's the one thing that I've always
Yeah, can
hated
you
about this.
ask him?
Just leave the bleeding TARDIS stationary.
Park before you
Yeah.
regenerate.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, he added his own personal lines in here where he said, "I will not." Where he won't remember. He'll remember every line of this and stuff.
Yeah.
And so must I. Oh man, I hate
Oh,
this.
no.
This. Oh, little Amy. Stop it, no. It doesn't matter how many times you see this saying, "Stop it, no."
You must be really dead inside not to cry to this.
Yeah.
We all change.
It's such a great speech.
Yeah.
It really is.
I still wish Matt did an extra season, though. I think he should have done it.
This is his line. I will not forget one line of this. Not one day. That was him to the fans when I was the Doctor. Ooh, when the Doctor was me. His face when he sees Amy. Raggedy man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
It's such a good ending, Matt Smith. I have to give him that.
This is a proper regeneration, unlike
Probably one of the
Tennant
best
one.
modern regeneration
Yeah,
stories
I agree. Well, I mean, I still have problems with this story, but I mean,
it's got problems, but it's probably
it was just too quick in a flash with the regeneration.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a morph.
Oh, but I did like his entrance.
Yeah.
I will admit it was different.
Though. Yeah, different regeneration though. It was a brand new set.
But you know what I loved about it? He hit you with emotion with that regeneration, right?
Yeah.
And then he basically just blasted Peter in, and it was like you just hadn't got time to get over your emotion of losing Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still after all these years, it's still a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Well,
Mm.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The onions being chopped everywhere. Oh yeah. Right, look at 3 grown men. Cop onto yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm only messing.
Yeah.
No, all joking aside, but listen, look, that's what we've missed about Doctor Who. It's not just the action and all of this, high adrenaline stuff. It's got to have a bit of heart and a bit of emotion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've missed that over the last few years. But
I think that's the problem with that last few seasons. It's just been no emotion in it. It's just been like a robot.
so
It's been
yeah,
completely dead. It
And it
has no
has.
soul.
no,
It's
it doesn't now.
soulless.
Yeah, yeah, it is
It's
soulless.
robotic.
And I
That
imagine that they had made the first female doctor and they didn't do a good job of it. I mean,
No.
what does that say about the writer? I
Bad.
mean,
Exactly.
incompetent.
Exactly. You just summed it right up. It's complete incompetence.
Yeah.
Gross incompetence.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll go and do the reigns. So I'll start first. Look, as I said, I've never been really the biggest fan of this. I mean, I do agree with Charlotte. I think the first few minutes are a bit ridiculous. But when it does get down into the nitty gritty, as I said, I love the conversations between the Doctor and Clara when they're not doing all that Christmas turkey crap.
Yeah.
But when she's actually there talking to him when he's angry with her, and then they hug and they have those little conversations, and then she realizes that he is going to die, and you can see it in her face, and he could see his reasons for keep sending her away. He wants to protect her, and everything that the Doctor is and has been is on that planet, and you could see he's laid out the bare. He's vulnerable as well. Remember that. While he's protecting these people, he can't just feck off and run away. He has to stay. But yeah, as I said, I mean the ending. I mean, at the time, the Matt Smith speech, I felt was flat in some places. But watching it again, yeah, I still think it's a cop out with the fucking crack and the regeneration power. I'm sorry, but it might be canon somewhere, right? I don't care, right? It's crap. Yeah, come up with a clever, a different concept. Will you just give him a potion or something like the Sisterhood of Khan did with fucking the Doctor, with McGann's Doctor? Do fucking something like that or something. But look, you have to explain things. He explained it. I might like the resolution, but then we come on to the regeneration scene, and then, I mean, he's very clever. He gives you the emotion, right? And then straight after you've lost him, after he gives that line, Amy comes down, Raggedy Man. He regenerates, but it's not a slow regeneration, just like bang, right? It's like you're still crying, you're still in bits, but Moffat doesn't give a shit. He's like, okay, yeah, here's Peter Capaldi,
Yeah.
So So look, if I had the same feelings that I had about it back then, I would have rated this as a solid 5 out of 10. Back then, but I've come to appreciate some of these stories a lot more and understand what he was trying to do. Yeah, back then, I was highly critical, and there was no room for me to either to kind of go with it or not. I was very militant in my views, but I kind of chilled out a little bit. I did enjoy it. You heard me, I couldn't stop fucking talking, so I obviously enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this. Look, as I said, I would have gave it a 5 out of 10 back then. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. The start of it, if you take the start of it out and then follow it on from after the turkey business. It's a pretty solid episode. But I do agree for a regeneration story, it's still, look, Moffat did still try to make it big. And maybe he hadn't got a budget then by the end. But
I think he spent it on Day of the Doctor, mate.
But there could have been, But this story alone, the time of the Doctor, could have been a two-part special. You could have broke this up into 2 parts, and we would have got a lot more, ways of how the Daleks and the Cybermen got onto the planet and how he defeated them. They could have built that up a little bit more and stuff like that. And but other than that, look, as I said, so I think that's a fair rating, 7 out of 10. So if everybody in the chat while the other 2 lads are giving their rating, and we're going to finish up shortly because I'll bring Ted down early. So and then I'll have to actually cook me chicken soup that I made yesterday. So I made some lovely chicken soup with vegetables and chicken, and it's fucking gorgeous. So I made a big pot of it. So put the rest of it in the fridge for today. So as you know yourselves, like stews and stuff like that and casseroles, people don't realise all of these things actually taste better the day after.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Give it 48 hours.
Yeah, because, that's why my granny, before we get into it, I don't want to make a big thing, but my granny and me ma and dad, sometimes she used to make their coddles and stews. Now, not put everything in, but put the main ingredients in, cook it for an hour or 2, and then leave it overnight, and then cook the rest of it up for all the flavors to infuse it. It was lovely, man. So that's what I have there. So I'm going to shut up talking about food before I make you all hungry, and we'll go to Real Super Doctor. So if you give us a brief review, because we've already done this episode, we've done Matt Smith before, but if you can give us a brief one. And
I think the beginning of the episode is stupid. It just doesn't kind of make a bit of sense. But as soon as you get into it and all that, and the Doctor aging and all that, and the Doctor realizing he's out of regenerations and all that, and it's like all right, they realize that Moffat has to kind of think about something to kind of extend the Doctor's regenerations and he uses the concept he used back in series 5, the Crack in Time, to kind of the Time Lords to send the regenerations to him, which I think was it's just basically him writing up his series and just putting it to a close. I would give this about an 8 out of 10.
That's a very good score. Yeah, we got a couple of 7 out of 10s in the chat from Daniel and Unknown. Tardis Spoiler is giving it an 8 out of 10. They said easy to watch, compelling story, great regeneration. It is easy to watch. The story is compelling. It's the start of it that actually does ruin it. I don't know. There's so many mistakes that Moffat did make with Jenna Coleman's character. Jenna Coleman as an actress with this role. He should have stuck with Victoria and Clara. It would have been so much simpler for him. But look, that's another argument for another day. Chris Persia gives it an 8 out of 10 as well. So we got 2 7 out of 10 so far. We got 2 8 out of 10s. John has given it a 7. John's given it an 8 out of 10. And I've given it a 7 out of 10. So it's an even split right now at the moment. If you haven't given your rating, please give it. And unless, if nobody else does in the chat, then PD Rich has the deciding yoke. So will he give it? Well, let's see what score he gives, and we won't influence him. So, PD?
Yeah, I think the problem with this episode is I didn't explain the alliance bit at the beginning. That was supposed to be the alliance, as we know from season 5, the end of season 5. I didn't explain it properly. Apart from that, I think he kind of tied up Matt Smith's era really well, and I think it's one of the best regeneration episodes I've seen for the new series. And it's going to really surprise everyone, but I actually give this one a 10.
Okay, wow.
It's emotional.
Absolutely.
It made me cry, this one. When I saw it first, it made me cry.
Well, if it's a 10 to you, it's a 10 to you. I could see why you'd give it a 10. It's just I just can't give it to certain things that really do annoy me.
I just think he kind of ended Matt really well and tied everything up, the whole the cracks and everything, and all the little bits of backstory. But I wish he would have explained it a bit more throughout the episode. That's my only problem. But,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This could have benefited as a two-parter. But look, it's what a way to finish with Matt Smith's era. Yeah. Now, listen, here's the deal. So I've said we'll take a couple of weeks break and then we come back with Peter Capaldi. But this is the way I'm going to do it from now on. Instead of doing them every weekend, what will happen is we get one at the start of the month, one at the end of the month. So 2 a month instead of 4, because I want to squeeze other stuff in. I've got to really start now, putting things in their place now and getting reorganized again, especially with all the shit that's going to be coming in the next few weeks and months. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So I want to start reorganizing, rejuggling. Might have to move around some streams and all. I'll let you know what's going to happen now. If you can't turn up for that stream because I've rescheduled, it doesn't matter. We'll put you on a different one. Okay. It's no big deal, right? Okay. I just might have to change things around a little bit. See, the weekends will probably have to be freed up for RTD stuff. So I might have to move the watch-alongs to midweek. Especially then when obviously when RTD comes back, that will be hyper focused on them. Only Classic Who will be getting done, because obviously we will be doing reviews of the RTD era. And look, he's going to give us plenty to talk about, because this is going to be a multi-special celebration. I think we can all see that now. Definitely looks like it. Hello, sorry, just saw this was on. Yeah, I sent you an email. I sent you a message on Messenger, but it's grand. I kind of, as I said, you've been busy anyway with your videos and doing your editing, so I didn't want to push it. But I did send. You'll see that I've sent you a message, and I did send you an email. But yeah, look. Doesn't matter. We start Peter in 2 weeks' time, so you got plenty of notice. And what you call it, I'll send you the link early. So we finished with the Time of the Doctor. I know you've seen it before, so if you want to throw in your rating, Lee, Chris did say he thinks you would give it a 6. Sorry, no, we're not. It's all right, man. Relax. Look. This was a kind of a spur of the moment thing, anyway. I only told people 2 days ago about it, so don't be worrying about it. It's kind of my bad. I've been so disorganized over the last couple of weeks. It's unbelievable, man. I've got nothing fucking done either. I just haven't been feeling right, and I just, with all the other stuff that's been distracting me with RTD and stuff like that, I just haven't had. Do you know what it is? I think I've gone non-stop, because you don't realize, even when I'm not streaming, I'm getting sent stuff. I'm organizing all of that. Then I'm like washing, I'm cooking. Right now, Cheryl does her stuff as well. She's off to the shops. She does whatever, gets the food in, brings Ted down. I only have to bring Ted down once or twice a night, but mostly it's just the one time. So she takes the dog down. I do the washing, the cleaning. We're just constantly fucking, like, you think we were just like sitting around, but we don't. We're constantly moving all the time, and I just haven't got the energy lately. It's just one of those summers that happens. I'm just having a bad summer. It's everybody else is enjoying it. I'm just drained. I just need a winter to come along and just chill, and I'll be fine. Anyway, my rating for this story would be a 6. So Chris, actually, I give it a 7. Lee does that just to be different. He really probably does want to give it a 6, but because Chris guessed that, he doesn't want to give Chris the the kudos, so he'll say 7. I'm only messing, Lee. 7, that's a good score. You gave it the same score as I did. And Lord thought, well, I'm going to get your name right one time. I know it's Tim. But anyway, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for that one. How very dare you, he says. How very dare you. Shut up, you drama queen. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah. So that's the Matt Smith era done.
Yep.
So, yeah, just to summarize, I suppose. So we've had the seasons we have. So what would I give it as an overall rating for his whole era? So I think we'll do that. We didn't do that for the last one. We should have, but we'll do it for Matt Smith, right? So all the episodes into consideration. I'm not going to get into a big mad thing. I'm just trying to think, what would I give this era, Matt Smith's era, out of 10? I would probably give Matt Smith's era a 6 out of 10. And that's the reason that I think his first series is great. And his last series is decent enough. I mean, it kind of got a bit choppy.
In the middle,
I got choppy in the middle. So if overall, I know it's the Moffat era, but him as the Doctor, right? So we'll rate the series. So I've given it a 6 out of 10. So we'll rate Matt Smith's performance overall of these seasons, and I'm going to give him. Actually, I just can't lie. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think even as I've went back and watched them again, I've seen things that I didn't see the first time. And a lot of his scenes are played with his eyes and his facial expressions.
Yeah.
And he does it so well. So for that reason, and the fact that if you think about it, he did get some dodgy scripts, but he was actually great in them, like Peter. So I'm going to give his Doctor a 10 out of 10. Stephen Moffat's era a 6 out of 10. So, PD, what would you give Matt Smith's Doctor
would
first?
be a bit more generous about the seasons. I do think they were really choppy in the middle. I think Series 6 Part 2 and Series 7 Part 1 were choppy. Really choppy. I'd probably give the series about probably a 7.5 to an 8. They did the best of what they can, but there was some choppy. But I would agree with Matt Smith. I think he's a 10, just like David Tennant. I think they both did brilliantly as a Doctor.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Real Super Doctor.
I would give it an 8 because, as PD Rich says, it is kind of a bit choppy because you've got it's between seasons and all that. The quality, the scripts and the stories seem to kind of degenerate a wee bit. I think Matt Smith as the Doctor a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So I think we all agree, and I think I could speak for Charlotte. When I say she'd give Matt Smith's Doctor a 10 out of 10. Now I don't know what she would actually give the series overall.
I reckon Moffat really hit the nail on the head with the specials, though. He was very good at producing specials. I mean, one special I absolutely hate, and that's Doctor the Widow in the Wardrobe.
Problem being says Smith is definitely my second favorite New Who Doctor.
Yeah.
Peter Capaldi, I'm assuming, is your first. He says 9 out of 10 so that's obviously for his Doctor, which is a good high score from Lee, because Lee is, because Lee will take everything into account as well. He's very meticulous with his rating. So I have to say that's a very good rating for Matt Smith there. I don't think we can deny. I don't think any of us deny that he was a good Doctor, even if some of his stories. This series I'd give a 6 for. So there you go, 6. 6. Oh, sorry, I did the thing. 6. I just can't help it now. I just keep seeing that saying 6. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. What we'll do is we'll ask the panel to do their usual shout outs. But before they do, just to remind you guys, we do have a membership section. So there's some member streams there. If you haven't become a member, please consider doing so. We will have RTD era watch alongs there. We already have a few member streams up already. We've brought some people on. Me and Jack have been talking behind the scenes, and there will be a reschedule there. After Jack, then obviously Lee. I'll get in touch with Lee. Make sure I get in touch with him a few days just in case his notifications are off, which happens. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, sometimes your phone, I've noticed that as well with my phone or my computers, they'll fucking change the settings without you fucking even knowing. Like they need to stop doing that. They need to keep giving it. They need to be giving you notifications. Get Jack on. I will. Listen, I got sick and I explained to him, and he said he was okay about it. If he wasn't okay about it, then he should tell me. You know, as you know, yourselves, I'd rather people just be out straight with me. But I've told him, and he seems fine. So we will reorganize. I just haven't been feeling well. If I'm not, I haven't even been game streaming. He says get Jack on again. Yeah, he's like I said okay. And if you keep it up, you won't be coming on. Yeah, right?
You two fighting, even though you wanted to chat once on the stream.
Tim says it's been a tough weekend. His wife has COVID and is in bed. Get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon on that one.
Jack's fine. He told me you are sick. Yeah, I know, because we've been talking. We've been actually talking behind the scenes. I just wanted to make sure that he knew. Because he wanted to know what was going on, so I just said it to him. I said, "Look, I'm not."
Well, I'm supposed to be doing an alien stream with Jack about the Kenner toys sometime, but we haven't been able to schedule it. So you know,
yeah. So look, that's it. That's what I mean. Things just happen. Look, sometimes you want. Look, as a YouTuber, I'll say this. Sometimes you want things to go smoothly. You want certain things to be done a certain way, but it doesn't always work out like that because either. You know, family get issues come up, or like for me, health issues. So and it has happened. I remember this happened to me last year as well. If you remember, guys, it was around the same time in the summer that I start getting. The summers for me lately haven't been great. I just have to look after myself a little bit better. I'm not saying I'm not looking after myself, but you know what I mean? I should be. I've kind of stayed stuck in this apartment for 2 years. I need to be getting out and getting a bit of exercise.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've turned into a big fat balloon either, but what I'm just saying is I just need to work my body a little bit because I just feel like me age. Right now. So Daniel says 8.5 for Matt's doctor. And a 4 for this series. So yeah. So let's see. Have I forgotten anybody? Pollen hay fever. I don't think it's pollen and hay. I don't know. It's not pollen and hay fever. I don't know what it is, man. I have to go and look. I haven't seen a doctor in years. I probably need to go and see a fucking doctor, but I hate doctors. Because probably tell me that I have to go for all of these tests, and then you get all the tests done, and there's nothing wrong with me. Then I'll go into worry overdrive, and then I'll be no good to anybody.
All the people, so many people.
So many people. It's Park Life. Yeah.
Park Life in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a bad song, but it's fucking annoying. Let's be honest. Right, Sean, did we do channel shoutouts? No, we didn't. We didn't because I was, So as I said, 2 weeks from now, we'll be kicking off with the Peter Capaldi stuff. So join us for that. Obviously, if there's any other RTD related news, I will let you know. I'm not even mentioning Chris Chibnall because he doesn't want to give us that. But if he does, and he feels like Sheridan, because Sheridan is caring, not that I think he does care anymore.
Do you know, he's moaning about that, isn't he? He's moaning on about that, and it's like, well, you're just terrible at marketing, Chris. So what? We're not going to get anything from you anyway, so why bother?
That's what I mean. Like, if you know, as I said, you know, RTD is drawing the battle lines with all of these, like, announcements. like if he had any balls, he'd actually start putting out his own stuff, but he
Yeah,
doesn't.
isn't-
So like, stop moaning. You've just basically let RTD
We might get
overshadow
yeah.
your last episode, and I'm sorry, that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve because you've shown the mentality of yourself and the people that support you. You're all weak. You
No,
don't stand
no.
up for what.
Do you think we're going to get a scavenger hunt 2 years after she regenerates?
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, man! Yeah, scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt. Just look, the both of them disappear and we never see them again. That'll do me just fine. Right. Anyway, I've no interest. Listen, this is the thing though. I've no interest in what she does now, and I've no interest in what he does. He's actually for me. And listen, I would have watched Chris Chibnall's stuff before he took Doctor Who. I think we all did. I think a lot of us watched some of his stuff. Yes, we all had varied opinions on it, but we did watch his stuff. But I'll never watch any of his stuff again. He's lost a fan, so to speak. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I was a huge fan of his work, but I did like some of it. But he's lost one. I'll never watch any of his stuff again. And as for Jodie Whittaker, I never had any interest in that. She was in before she took Doctor Who, and that won't change after she leaves. So, I mean, bad mistake all around. But there you go. So, as I said, any more of that stuff, if he is willing to share, I will also report on that as well. And as I said, once I start getting shit organized, then we can start doing the stuff that we're supposed to be doing as well, on top of the stuff that I want to do. Spread it all out evenly so this channel doesn't become someone needs to knock off the music there.
Not mine.
Right, we'll just get a copyright there, and that'll piss me off. Anyway, let's do the channel shout out. So we'll go with you first, Real Super Doctor.
I've got YouTube under Real Super Doctor, and I've got an Instagram account under Real Super Doctor and a Twitter account.
Fantastic, PD.
Okay, you can always find me in Rabbi's chat, as you know, and sometimes I do stream with Dave Travels Through Time, so I'll bung them in the stream.
Fantastic. Yeah, there was a couple of photographs that I didn't show you. It's unknown, just have to bring them up there. I was going to show them tonight with the rumors. So apparently there's a photograph on set, and someone has sprayed painted flux on this wall with yoke, and that was seen in a picture got to do with the RTD era. So apparently that's led fans to believe, like unknown there, that Jodie Whittaker might actually make a cameo appearance in the 60th. Well, I'm just going to say this. I mean, technically speaking, she should be in the 60th because she is the current Doctor. But here's the thing that makes no sense about it, right? How would she have, because the people that are coming up with this theory, I don't think have thought this through. So if she is making a cameo appearance in the 60th, why would they bring back David Tennant for it?
Yeah.
Just to give her a cameo appearance. It makes no sense. I'm sorry, which way you look at this or frame it, a regeneration, whatever they call it, that's not happening. I don't believe that that's what actually is happening. I think that's just a lot of fan theory and speculation.
Yeah.
I think she will regenerate into David Tennant, but there'll be a reason. There'll be a reason behind it. There's a reason why she's reverted back to Tennant's Doctor. Right? There's a reason behind that. But I don't think it's a regeneration. I think there's a reason. There's something in his timeline that was forgotten, or something that needs to be resolved, or something. And that's why he's back. But it makes no sense. Why would they make such a big deal about David Tennant being in these specials, then to turn around and say, oh, by the way, Whittaker will have a cameo appearance. It just doesn't make sense. You get her to lead the 60 then if that's the fucking case. You bring all of these lads back, right?
Yeah.
And she becomes
Yeah.
part of the main story because she is the, whether we like her or not, she is the doctor that's still fucking one episode to go. So she's the one that's leaving. So it'd be logical that you'd have her in the 60th anniversary and not get her to regenerate in the centenary. So I don't think so. All these people saying that she's in the 60th, I don't buy it. There's no logical reason.
Why would you regenerate her, then bring her back just to bring her back an episode later? It's no
bring
point,
her back
really.
as the Valiard. Okay,
That'd
but
good.
then but would you all be down for that? Because then we've been complaining that she's a shit doctor, but you'd be okay for her to be the Valiard. That seems a bit. To me, that seems like. Are you fucking serious? I know you. I actually don't think Lee is being serious, but if you are being serious, are you being fucking serious? Like, she can't even play the doctor, and you think she could play the Valiard? I know you're taking the piss. That has to be a piss take. That definitely is.
Bad Valiard.
That definitely is a joke. Come on, tell us you're joking. Like, tell us you're joking because literally you've lost all credibility with just that one. I'm actually going to put it up. Look, there you go. Right, he's lost credibility. Right, bring her back as the Valiard. I think Lee has taken too many drugs or something. Back in the day because it scrambled his brain. At least we can write her era off as just the Valiard faking it. Oh. Yeah, but then it ruins that character. Would you be willing to sacrifice the Valiard? Would you be willing to that's actually a legit question. Would you actually be willing to sacrifice the Valiard?
Yeah,
for that story?
For the greater good, probably yes.
You would sacrifice. You would sacrifice the Valiard as a sacrificial lamb, just to make it so
anyway.
that
Anyway, but Michael Jason's still alive. He can come back.
There you go. John's just put cold water on his whole argument.
Yeah.
I'm only messing. He hasn't. But look,
Michael Jason.
Sacrifice the Valiard's character to save the Doctor. Are you serious? Yes. Wow. Wow.
Desperate times call for
well, that's what I was. You got there before me, but I suppose that's exactly what it is, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, fans will literally take Anton at this stage to make sure that this whole era doesn't exist. No, says Daniel, though. I love the Valiard. Feck off. Right. Anyway, that's an interesting one. Maybe we should do a stream on that. What character would you sacrifice for all of this timeless children nonsense to make sense? Anyway, one more for story to go, but we're full steam into the RTD era, and it's looking great. As I said, when I get the chance, it'll be tomorrow. I will throw up those screenshots that Unknown sent to me of the rumors. I'll also put up obviously that what we were just talking about there. It's just completely slipped my mind. The rumor about what could be happening and stuff like that, and a few photographs that they didn't throw up. The poster, that's what I meant. Yeah, the poster, and you'll see the writing on the wall, and it does say Flux, but that could be just. Or maybe it's got because of the thing that happened with Flux, Whittaker's. See, this is the thing that would make sense with that, right? Jordan Flux, Whittaker's doctor, irreparably damaged the universe. Somehow, somewhere in David Tennant's timeline as the doctor, this whole Flux thing was discovered or something like that. Or it came about that the people were going to destroy the universe or whatever, right? Something like that, right? I'm not exactly. You know where I'm going with it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's where this story is set. And that's why we've got little references to Flux, because whatever happened in Flux is affecting the universe. This is why it explains maybe all these doctors coming back. That's the only thing that I'd accept. But then that means then, and I would have to admit myself, is then that he's acknowledging the Whittaker era, the Chibnall era. But is that necessarily a good or bad thing? We won't know until we actually see what he writes, though. And so far, what we've seen looks absolutely amazing. It doesn't necessarily mean because there's Flux. That could be just a joke by RTD or maybe taking a dig at Chibs. Just put Flux up on the wall. I'll show him how it's fucking done. I'll show him how it's fucking done. He wants to do a fucking multi-universe. I'll show him how to do a multi-fucking-universe story. Just write Flux on the wall. Right? I wouldn't be surprised. But look, we will see. We'll get to that bridge when needs be. Right now, I'm not going to be outraged because there's Flux up on spray painted up on the wall. Right? If that really is going to get fans all roiled up about it, well then that just goes to show you how bad this fandom has actually gotten, that we're fighting and complaining about petty little shit like that. It could be just a fucking word, you know, that he's just thrown up there and it just happens to be Flux. Or remember one thing, this could be a wall that already had the writing Flux on it. People are speculating that the RTD crowd actually did that and wrote Flux up. How do you not know that could be someone's fucking, you know, when they do the spray painting shit, right? They mark the wall, don't they? They brand the wall with their brand. That could be someone's brand, and it just happens to be Flux.
Yeah, it could be.
I know it's a long shot, but look, you got to look at these things from all different angles. Right, and I'm willing to do that. So the spray paint theory actually doesn't actually it does make sense, I should say. So you know, I wouldn't dismiss it. It could be someone just branding their yoke. But look, if people are gonna start looking into shit like that, then they're just look. And look again. This is probably people just looking for something to fucking. Oh, look, there's Flux is on the wall. Oh, he's going to acknowledge
the message from another doctor to say something's in Flux. There you go.
Listen, if this is a celebration of everything that's come before because it's an anniversary, I'm going to make this point. Whether you like it or not, the anniversary special is supposed to celebrate what came before it, right? So we have the 50th. And that celebrated everything that came before the 50th. Since then, the last 10 years, we've had Doctor Who. The 60th anniversary is going to celebrate what we've had the last few years, whether we like it or not. So if people are under the illusion that that there might be references or callbacks to the Chibs era, you've got to cop onto yourselves. Of course there will be. Of course there will be. It's a celebration of everything that's came before, right? And he's not going to just totally dismiss it. It'll be very interesting to see how he actually addresses it. Because if the first line out of his doctor is, well, I'm doctor from Gallifrey's, and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's kind of like him saying, well, I've retconned fucking the nonsense there. You know what I mean? Which I think is still a cop-out, you know. Like, I know fans would be all right with the one-liner, I'm the doctor from Gallifrey, blah, 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 and dismiss this whole thing. But for me, that's not good enough, right? You dug yourself in this hole, but I want you to explain yourself out of this hole. I just don't want the one line, or like what they did in Dallas coming out of the shower. Look, I probably would have accepted that a few years ago, but not now. If you're going to fix it properly. Right, simple as that. But look, there'll be some references. Will she make a cameo? Look, it makes no sense. Why regenerate her and not just fucking keep her till the 60th and then regenerate her in the 60th? Like, makes no sense. unless they whack a scene in where she happens to be on a monitor, or she's a hologram from the past leaving the Doctor a message. If that's your cameo, well, I don't give a shit about that. Let her be a fucking hologram. Once she's not on fucking camera, in front of that fucking camera, I don't give a shit. Right? We've already seen enough of her. Let her enjoy motherhood and whatever else she's going to do with her life. But as far as Doctor Who is concerned, that chapter is closed. It's closed. She's already... Actually, and anyway, they've already said and made it clear that she filmed her last scenes. And that was her last ever filming in Doctor Who. They wouldn't be saying that and then all of a sudden, because in fairness, you know, it'd be the worst kept secret if she was in it. And trust me, if she was in it, we'd know all about it months before it's even being talked about, because that's the way it's happened. What am I looking at there? They should be entitled Unspecials. Are we talking about the Chibs stories? Yeah, no,
Probably,
yeah, they're a load of crap. Raymond O'Reilly gives it an 8 out of 10. Right, we're coming up to the 2.5 hour mark, so I'm going to leave there now and go and have something to eat and then bring Ted out. I'm a bit late now. I was supposed to bring him out before that. But now, I'll bring him out. Jesus. Anyway, it's one of those things anyway. Right, enjoy your evening. Thanks for tuning in. As I said, you know, look out for all of those streams that we have coming up. And take care. Enjoy the new week. And let's hope my fucking football club does a bit of fucking business, because I'm getting fucking pissed off with it now. Again, every fucking season is the same. Sick of it. Sick of it, I am. Anyway, good night, folks. Have a good one. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Mm.